know. Well, dude,
Dude, I feel like we have not done this in, was it a year? No, we looked at it. We talked about it the other day.
like 9 months.
It was 9 months, I think.
Yeah.
It was like the last episode with Devin.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we freaking pretty much filmed a podcast this morning just talking about Helldivers when I came over.
I know, dude. Honestly, I could talk about that forever.
I could too.
It's such a good game.
It is such a good game. It's such a good game.
It is, but honestly, I guess the past 9 months is where we can kind of start, like, talking about things.
True. Yeah, true.
There's been a ton of stuff happening. I mean, the people at home can't already tell. I mean, you look behind us.
That's
different background.
Different background, yeah. Golly, and that's only been 3 months. 2.5, really.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Which I'm sure most people that watch this podcast know.
Yeah, that people.
What's going on? But
Yeah.
You opened your store finally.
Yeah.
That you've been talking about for a few years now.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
I mean, you go back to like the season 1 episodes and.
It was in my mind.
Yeah, there was there was the thought baby there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
For sure. Yeah, dude. So we are at Sneaks and Geeks now.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Downtown Kingsport.
Downtown Kingsport. Sneaker walls, a dead giveaway. Dude, man, that was.
Yeah, what they're not seeing is all the other memorabilia in here. Like, this is only. Honestly, I feel like with your store, it's mostly video games.
It is.
Or at least like pop culture and video games.
For sure.
Sneakers, I know, are a big part of it, obviously, with the sneaker wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like a lot of this is video games.
Yeah, no, well, what's crazy is like the value of them both kind of balances out just because of how expensive sneakers are, though. You know what I mean? So, but building that inventory was crazy. Like, building inventory for sneakers is like, these are expensive. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dude.
But,
I mean, you were on StockX every single day, on the GOAT app every single day, the Nike releases. You were getting as many as you could on drop. Because, I mean, you get something on drop like that, you get it for retail price.
Yeah.
But they only release a certain amount, right?
Yeah.
So after that, it's like, it's all a resale market.
It is. It is. And you definitely have pairs that'll sit or sell under retail. But, yeah, no, I only went for the best. Like those J Balvins right behind you in the case.
Those are fire.
I know they're crazy.
That's one of my favorite shoes you've ever landed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's like a $400 shoe that I landed for retail. You know what I mean? That's a good one. I mean, that's why it's in the display case. But that one was in my personal collection, and I was like, I had them for over a year, never wore them, so I'm like, let's throw them up in the shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and those, and then I think they were the Cactus Jack Lows.
Yeah.
The backwards Nike check.
Yeah.
Those are so fire.
Yeah,
dude.
they're crazy.
I love those shoes.
They are crazy. Travis Scott's, all of them are insane, especially if you like brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking about it the other day because, like, I bought those Jordan 1 Lows from you, the black and white pair.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it whenever I was wearing like khaki pants. And I was like, instead of wearing like a dress boot with these, like if I wanted to dress down a little bit, a pair like those right there, those Zoom Airs, that like brown Nike 1 or Jordan 1 look, would go perfect.
Oh, dude. I mean, the Jordan 1 is a timeless shoe that you can dress up or down. Jordan 1 highs or lows. Either one of them. They look great with pants. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's such a good shoe.
I'm coming around to that side of things. Like, I used to be a big, like, boot guy.
Yeah.
Like, always wearing the boots and stuff. But now I'm coming around to the point to where I want to wear stuff like that.
I know, dude. Well, you're here, so you know what they say. Do you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're bound to get your hair cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
And this is the barbershop.
Dude, the funny thing is, my barbershop's, like, a block away.
Yeah, I know.
That was a weird experience, dude.
That's what you were telling me.
That was so weird.
So we won't name drop the barbershop unless you want to, but
I mean, if you know,
well,
it wasn't the barbershop.
It wasn't the barbershop.
It wasn't the barbershop. They're great. I love that place.
Yeah.
My only gripe with it is how long it takes to get a haircut, but that's how good they are. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
are, yeah.
So, but I won't. I'm not gonna name drop it, I guess. But yeah, I was just sitting there. I think I had waited for about 45 minutes. And I was watching everybody that was in there before me, so I knew I was like either next up or one away. Like I was very close to getting my haircut. And that dude walked in and was just, I thought he had an earbud in. Because like he was sitting to the right of me, and I could only see one ear. And the way he was talking was like he was having a conversation with somebody. A heated conversation, but a conversation.
Yeah.
And I chalked it up to just being like, well, he's fighting with somebody, arguing with somebody.
Yeah.
And then he just, like, gets up from that chair and goes to my left. and I see the other ear, and there's no AirPod in his ear, and now I'm like the sirens are going off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden he almost comes out of his chair. He's like, and just like leans back again. He's like, what you gonna do? You gonna run? You gonna run faster than my gun? And I was like, okay. And I grabbed my stuff and I just walked out.
Dude, I know. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Then you came down here and you're like, bro, I was about to get my haircut, and I was there for like an hour and a half. Didn't even get my haircut, and I was like,
you even asked me because I told you because me and Clay were gonna come down here and meet you.
Yeah.
Hang out for a little bit, go back and play Helldivers.
Yeah.
And I walked in and was sitting around for a second. You go, did you get a haircut? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this story.
Yeah.
But it was just weird, dude. I don't know. And then I went back like a week later and got my hair cut. I usually get it cut by Kendall.
Okay.
She's awesome, dude. She always cuts my hair great. No, everybody else in there is great too. I just prefer her because she does what I want.
I feel you.
But I sat down in her chair and she's like, were you in here last week? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I thought that was you. And she was like, I called your name. And I was like, I swear I saw him in here. I was like, yeah, I had got a call for work. And just I try to blame it on that because I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just a weird feeling. If I get a feeling like that, I'm out, dog.
Yeah, dude.
I ain't trying to be a hero.
I feel that completely. Since opening my store, I've had some crazy. It's only happened once so far since I've been opened. Did I tell you about this when that crazy guy came in and then?
I remember. So I know the one guy with the Google lenses that at first kind of off-puts you, but is actually really, really cool.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, and then you told me about the other guy that said you were trash.
Okay, yeah, oh man, I don't know if he'll ever watch this episode. That's a different story.
Okay, so I don't think I've heard about this one.
Yeah, no, dude, I was in here, it was a Saturday night, so my hours are 11 to 7, Tuesday through Friday, 12...
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. 12 to 8 on Saturday, closed Sunday and Monday. We're filming this on Monday. It was after 7 on a Saturday, and I still had till 8 o'clock. And this guy comes in, and he brings me one game. And, dude, he just started ranting. My phone tracks my Ring cameras for a month, for the span of a month. So I still have it on my phone.
You got like a database of month-long footage.
Yeah. So I still have it, and this dude came in here and just wanted to tell me about like all the things he's been dealing with, and this guy, I kid you not, I know for a fact, was high on meth, and was
Know for a fact.
Know for a fact.
What, just from the behavior? Or?
From the behavior, and
it's either meth or something hard.
Something hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's jumping and cussing and telling me all these stories. He dropped the N-word with a hard R, and was just and like it got to the point to where I was like looking around like.
Was there anybody else in the shop?
No, it was just me. The hair salon was closed. Corey was closed. So it's just me in this hallway by myself with this guy, and I'm like, if this guy like snaps with the way, because he's getting really emotional on these stories he's telling. He's getting mad recalling some of these stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see two different levels.
You're just about to be an indirect target in this situation.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And like I told Hannah this, and this would have been so immature to do, and I wouldn't do this, but I was like literally contemplating like going live on the Sneaks and Geeks Instagram just to be like, look, keep an eye on me.
Yeah.
And then just put it in the background. You know what I mean? And but I obviously did not do that. But dude, he was just jumping around cussing here for 30 minutes telling me about how all these jobs he's applied for and how he owes all this money, and he at one point he was like I felt this way. He was like what can we do? And he's like if one act of kindness can change the world, and he was like I don't know how people don't do this because it affects one person can affect the another, and he was like I feel these feelings and I feel this way. He's like sometimes I just feel like I'm God, and I'm like, this dude has lost his mind.
Yeah.
And I'm literally like, oh my gosh. And then he was in here from 7:11 to 7:45. At 7:45, I see a guy walking down the hall, opens the door, and it's Hannah's dad. And he looked like a glowing angel
Yeah.
sent by God that came in, and he was just bringing me some mail. He was like, "What's up, Bailey?" He's like, "I got some mail for you and Hannah." I was like, "Okay," because Hannah gets like some stuff delivered to her house, like 401k stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, and I looked at Brian and I was like, "Hey, what's up, Brian?" I was like, "Do you care to hang out for a little bit?" Like just like really getting it out, and he was like, "Yeah." And so at first, like this guy's talking normal because another person came in. Then he loosens up with Brian because I was like, "Brian's my father-in-law." He's like, "Okay." He was like, "Should I tell him about this story too?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." and then
I'd have been like, "Nah, dude, it's okay."
And then
like,
I see,
that was a rough story. Like maybe not.
yeah, no, and so, but I wanted Brian to be like, "Okay, yeah, this is what's going on." So like,
at least you could have two people on the same page.
Exactly,
okay,
exactly,
I get it,
yeah, that's what I wanted to be.
Okay.
And so Brian was in here, and we just kind of felt it out, and he started getting wound up again, and then he got to the point to where he was like jumping and screaming, and me and Brian both at the same time were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And I was like, "Hey, dude," I was like, "There's people that live upstairs. We can't be screaming like that." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he was like doing this to upstairs, and I'm like, "Dude, this oh my gosh!" I felt scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
But like
yeah.
having Brian there, I was fine. But he like kind of waited. He knew, and I closed at 8, and it's like, "Hey, I'm closing. You care?" And then Brian hung out for a little bit. And shout out to my father-in-law, Brian, just retired from the Eastman. Worked there for 40 years, 41, 42 years.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And so he was like, "Man, hey, I just retired. So anytime you need me to come by, just give me a call." And I was like, "I got you."
Brian has security services.
Yes. But I'll tell you what. Ever since that situation, I keep that thing on me while I'm here.
Dude, I honestly don't know why you didn't. Anyway.
I should have before. I definitely should have. But that's it. Not that I ever plan on using it, but I was.
It's better than have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. So
100%.
So I have it, and hopefully we'll never have a need for it.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, having a store like this, money, like here.
Yeah.
For all that stuff, like everything you don't get in credit cards, like it's just cash. It's liquid cash right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By all means, keep that thing on you.
Exactly. Yeah, especially when it's just me here in the hallway. So it's like it made me think of like, should I change my Saturday hours? Maybe I've like contemplating it, but also now it's like staying like lighter outside for longer, so it's like not as bad.
The freaks ain't coming out
yeah.
quite as early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, dude. And after the podcast, I'll show you the videos of this.
All right.
Crazy.
Dude, I can only imagine.
This man lost his mind.
Well, dude, I told you, I think it was last Friday, because I was going to lunch with my boss over at the Old Crow Tavern.
Yeah.
And I parked in that parking lot like across from Bays Mountain, and like beside BT's and everything.
Yeah.
I was pulling up, I guess beside like Anchored at that four-way to turn right.
Yeah.
And this woman is walking across the street, and she is like on one.
Yeah.
And like she's yelling so hard, like the veins in her neck are popping out, and like her face is red.
Yeah.
And she's just like, and I'm just sitting there like trying to turn, and she's walking across the crosswalk where I got to turn, and I'm just like, make sure no one's coming that way. Just I was freaking out, dude. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Just like behavior like that. It's something about it is just so unsettling because you never know.
You don't. Yeah, you don't.
You know, the world's so crazy nowadays. Like, you really never know what somebody's gonna do or be capable of.
Yeah.
Like, they just pop off like that.
Dude, I know.
But I remember texting you. I was like, you need to go outside right now.
Yeah, dude.
I parked and rolled my window down. I could still hear her.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Dude, Corey had a situation happen last week to where a guy got arrested because he came up to Corey, and he said this dude was tweaking out too. And this dude, he was like, Corey literally described him as like sounding demonic. He came up to Corey and he's like, "Am I intimidating to you?" And then Corey was like, "No, not really." And then that guy was like, "Yeah, you look a little bit bigger than me." He was like, "Do you know your Lord and Savior, Jesus?"
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
dude
what a
switched on him. Dude, straight up 180. And he was like, I'm gonna go help somebody that doesn't know. And then like started talking all feminine and weird. And it's like he was like just battling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
weird.
It was weird. And he started screaming, walking down the street, whatever. He went to jail. Like he literally got arrested.
Good.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, dude. It's things that happen downtown, and I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. These are just the facts of how people have came in and acted, and I'm like, this is just not ways that people should act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, I mean, I feel like with a lot of those situations, I do think there are some people out there that are just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something, trauma or whatever in their life has happened, but I also think that, especially in like, because a lot of these people are in poverty too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
poverty and drug abuse kind of go hand in hand
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times. And I think like the reason people act that crazy, they're definitely on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or they were on something previously, and this
Mm-hmm.
is the aftermath of the use. You know what I mean?
No, dude, I know exactly what you mean.
People don't just get that way.
No, and I've seen it so much more firsthand now.
Dealing with the general public.
Dealing with the general public.
Yeah.
I mean, I've delivered pizza. I've worked at Jersey Mike's in high school. I worked at Hobby Lobby. So that's a different type of general public. You definitely don't get that at Hobby Lobby. You know what I mean? I saw
No.
some interesting characters delivering pizza. But that, I mean, I'm not being judgmental whatsoever. But that, like, coming out and just walking around, just kind of a drifter type vibe.
Yeah.
You can tell whenever you see them just righteously judging, I guess. I don't know if that's valid here, but
I don't think it is judging as much as it is like perceiving an awareness of being like,
yes,
that's a threat.
Yeah. It can be a threat for sure.
Yeah, that's like when you're looking around, like normal people acting normal, nobody's really threatening.
Yeah.
But I think that's just kind of like a guy thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly, because I mean, you're out to dinner with like your wife or something like
Yeah.
that. It's like, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
something about it is just like you're constantly looking around and being like, okay, where's the threat? Where's the exit door? Where's this, that? You're almost like going through it like I don't know, like a combat situation or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I don't think it's like a judgment. I really think it's just like okay, that could be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like if something was to pop off, I know where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm keeping my thumb on that one.
Oh yeah, no, dude, and that's exactly what I was like saying. Whenever that guy was here, I was literally like looking around behind me, like, what's the first thing that I can grab to hit this guy over the head with? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you ain't got it.
No, I ain't got that thing. So I was like, I got a pair of scissors in the closet, and it's gonna be dirty.
That's gonna be brutal.
It's gonna be.
I hope he got his tetanus shot.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be scarred for life if that ever happens.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Side note. So yes, a lot has happened, but recently, have you seen previews for the movie Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson?
No.
Man. Comment down below if you went and saw the movie. Me and Hannah had to walk out of the theaters on it cuz it was just getting kind of weird. Like and I've heard such good reviews about the movie.
And what kind of movie is this?
Thriller,
horror?
Thriller more so, action thriller.
Okay.
Action thriller, but he is what is called an expendable. Okay. And they give a bunch of these people the opportunity to leave Earth and go like live out in space. And where he's an expendable, they clone his body, like scan it to where they send him on missions. And he pretty much knows he's on a death mission. Like, he knows he's going to die.
Yeah, the expendable part.
The expendable part. And he's, like, one of the only few expendables. He knows he's going to... Well, he's really the only one that dies. Gosh, dude. Like, you see... Like, it's... And they scan him to whenever he dies, it reprints his body, but they keep this thing to where he can keep his memory. So he keeps all his memory, but he, like, kind of doesn't remember dying. But he's, like... He's very, very like passive because he knows that he's an expendable. He dies all the time. So he's Mickey 17.
Okay.
Like he's died 16.
He's 17th version.
He is the 17th version of Mickey. The first 40 minutes of the movie is showing how he died the first 16 times. And oh my gosh, like I whispered to Hannah like 15 minutes into the start of it, and I was like, hey, if you feel weird, I was like, we can definitely leave. And so it starts off and you see him on this planet. Kind of reminds you of Helldivers a little bit.
Okay.
He's on this like winter planet down in this hole, and he's like, well, this is how I got here. He was like, this is the life number 17, so we'll see what happens. And this big monster starts coming towards him. Oh. And he was like, this will be a fun way to go. This is a new one. And then this guy comes rappelling down, and like takes his flamethrower from him. He was like, do you need this anymore? He was like, and then you see this monster coming. He was like, probably not. Take it if you need it. And he takes his flamethrower and he's like down in this hole, and he's like, and then it stops. This thing like comes over him and then stops. Then it's like, well, let's start all over. Let me explain how I exactly got into this situation. Mm-hmm. And dude, it like gets to this. It like shows back when he's on Earth, and it like shows him, and it's the guy that plays Glenn off The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The Asian guy.
Yeah.
It's him and it's them two, and like he was like, and then Glenn, he's like, Glenn tried to sell me on this idea that macaroons would be more popular than cheeseburgers. So we started this business, and then we borrowed a bunch of this money from this guy. Anyway, it shows this guy. Who is who they borrowed the money from, and they go into this restaurant, and this guy, you see them. They get captured by these guys because of the people that owe them money. They go into this restaurant. Then the next thing you see is a freaking guy. They're strapped to chairs, and then you see a guy like hogtied to a table. Then you see a guy with a freaking butcher suit on with a chainsaw walking towards the guy hogtied to the table. Then you see a guy across from him. It's this old man. He's explaining who the old man is. He's like, hey, this is the old man. He really likes seeing people die. And you see this old man eating food, and he has a camcorder in his hand, and you see him turn to the guy hogtied on the table, and then you see that guy turn up the chainsaw, and it's like, this is getting weird.
Yeah.
Like this guy just recording this guy dying, and then you just see like the blood hitting the guy. Anyway, like that was like the first thing of how it started. Then it shows all the 16 ways of him dying, like him getting to this planet, and it's like, and then the people over the intercoms are like, okay, now take a deep breath in and feel if there's any toxins in the air. And he's taking a deep breath in. Then it like pans to him later, and he's like throwing up a bunch of blood because there were toxins in the air. He's like, turns out there was this in the air, and he died like 5 times from that planet till they could figure out the toxins in the air. Anyway.
It sounds like a snuff film.
Dude, it was kind of weird, but there's a bunch of like Mark Ruffalo's in it too.
Really?
Robert Pattinson's the main character. But the point we walked out whenever it flashes back to Mickey 17 and that monster's coming to get him. And then Hannah's like, hey, can we leave now? And I'm like, well, he doesn't die after this point. I was like, can we stay and leave? And she's like, no, I really want to go. And I was like, crap, okay. And I was like, that's fair, because it was getting brutal. It was getting hard to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was the first 40 minutes of Mickey 17. So if you want to sit through the whole hour and a half, two and a half hours of it, it's long.
2.5 hours.
2 hours and 17 minutes. And then we literally got home, like went and got food, came home, watched the regular show to like ease our minds. Yeah. And it's like, I remember looking at my phone, and the movie started at 9:40, and it was like 11:30, and I was like, that movie's still going on right now. I was like, I don't know how it feels still being in there.
No,
you know what I mean? After driving home from Bristol and then watching a couple episodes of regular show.
That's No, I haven't seen that movie. That sounds. I don't know. I don't really mind like blood and gore and stuff like that.
I don't either, and it didn't show it.
Unsettling.
It's unsettling, and he's so unconfident. Anyway, I'm sorry for ranting about this movie for so long. If you did want to go see this movie, I would watch it with you because I kind of want to see how it ends.
Okay.
But I can't. Hannah could definitely not watch it, and I felt weird too. Like I wouldn't have leaned over to her and said, "Hey, we can leave if you want to," if I didn't feel weird too.
Yeah.
I was getting to the point where I was like, "This is weird." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it might not be something I pay money to go watch, but like, one night whenever I'm just chilling, I might.
Yeah.
Let's see what Bailey's talking about.
Yeah, holler at me. Holler at me. I'll come finish it with you.
Yeah. No, the movie I'm excited about that's coming out is the new A24 movie.
Warfare.
Yeah. That one's gonna be really good.
It will be really good.
It looks like one of those movies too that like maybe people will underappreciate.
Yeah.
Because it seems like very realistic.
It does.
You know?
It does.
And I think people might be like, oh, I want to see explosions and all this other stuff. And I'm sure that's going to be in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be like a Michael Bay film.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure not. Yeah, no.
I think it's going to be like oh my God.
It's going to be gritty.
Yeah, like you're going to come out of there and be like, I'm kind of exhausted.
Oh, for sure.
From what it took for me.
There's going to be an adrenaline dump, for sure.
Yeah, because you're going to be basically, A24 is fantastic.
They are.
Their movies are always killer.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I feel like this movie is definitely going to be like one that's like extremely realistic. Like you're going to feel like you're there the whole time.
Yeah, and seeing that in theaters, hearing like a tank go off and gunshots, it's going to be loud and it will be intense, but I definitely do want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
One of the best war movies I ever saw in theaters was Fury.
Did I see Fury in theaters? Fury might be my favorite war movie of all time. I mean, there's some good ones out there, like Saving Private Ryan. Yeah.
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down's great. We watched that together.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down will make you cry.
Will.
Saving Private Ryan will make you cry.
It will too. Oh yeah, it will.
When Vin Diesel dies, that part killed me.
Yeah, dude. That Saving Private Ryan is so good.
Spoiler alert, but also if you haven't seen that movie till now, like that's on you.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is. Yeah, yeah. And if you want a collector's edition of it, I have a sealed copy of that on VHS in the shop.
I see it right now.
Yeah.
Now that you say, I see it up there,
Dude,
right next to Titanic.
Factory sealed.
Really?
On VHS, yeah. It's pretty crazy. It's 2 VHSs. Like, that's how long the movie is.
Yeah, that is a long
You have to take
movie.
it out and put in another one to finish the movie. Titanic's the same way.
Do you know what's another good one? It's not really a movie, but it should be. I mean, it's full length. It's Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've
never watched Pacific. I haven't watched that series, Band of Brothers.
Dude, you haven't?
No.
Dude, and you like war movies like I do.
Oh, I love war
movies. You need to
movies.
watch that.
Really?
You could watch it in a week if you really grinded it.
Oh, it's like that,
like
though?
Like an episode or two a night.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 12 parts.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's 12 parts. I may be mistaking that for the 12 men. I'm not sure, but either way, fantastic series.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good. And, like, it follows the same characters throughout. So, like, you get really attached to all of them.
Yeah.
They're all, like, ranking up or dying off. And it's just, dude, it's so good.
Okay.
It is so good. And it's, like, so historically accurate, too, because it's going through... chronologically, it lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
Of, like, where they get sent and all this other stuff. Like, there's one part where they're in France... you know, D-Day, and then, like, invading through inland France and going that way. And then there's also, you know, they get switched over, and then it's the dead of winter, and they're fighting in the Battle of the Bulge in the Ardennes Forest. And it's, like, it's so freaking good, dude. I love that series.
Yeah. No, I've only heard good things of that, and I've definitely heard about that from you.
Mm-hmm. The Pacific was good, too. The Pacific focused, there's a lot of heavy focus on, like, the life side of things, not necessarily like the fighting. Like there's great fight scenes in it.
Yeah.
Especially like the Iwo Jima invasion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's considered the like Normandy of the Pacific theater.
Yeah.
There's great fight scenes in it, but it does focus heavily on like the life side of things. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a whole episode where like there's no fighting. They're just like in Australia stationed waiting to go fight, and they're like all talking to different girls and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So, but it's a series too.
Mm-hmm. It's the same, but HBO made them both.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm sure it's well made then.
Yes, yeah, it's made the exact same way.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that Warfare movie is gonna be dope.
I know. I'm very excited for that. And there's so many war movies that I haven't seen that I know. It's like 1917. Have you seen that one? Or Dunkirk?
I've seen Dunkirk. 1917 that's World War I. That's when Dunkirk follows British people, right?
I haven't seen either of them.
Yeah, Dunkirk is whenever like a British platoon they're on the beach and the invasion fails and they're just like on the beach, exposed, and so German fighters are coming after them, and a bunch of civilians from the other coastline come over on civilian boats and rescue them all and bring them back.
Yeah.
And then I think 1917 is also British forces, but it's about two guys that have to deliver a message, and they have to fight their way through the entire war.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
I think.
I have no idea.
I've seen Dunkirk, but I haven't seen 1917. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. But yes, Warfare is going to be a fun movie. Side note, what happened? What did you do to your wrist?
I don't know. Like I said, me and Aaron were working out in the yard yesterday, and I just had a spot come up.
Huh. Did you start blazing her?
Well, I got into it. You know what I mean? Like, as one should.
Yeah.
It was, like, whelped up, so I was like, well, maybe it just I need to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And then it was open, so I threw some, like, antibiotic on it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll just cover it up because I was working today, so.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I don't know what it was.
I still got my little pin from where I got my blood taken this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the doctor regularly. I had blood work done this morning.
I scheduled mine today, too.
Did you?
Yeah, you inspired me to schedule mine.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I seriously, dude. I mean, since we filmed our last podcast, we had one of our buddies had an extreme scare. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know,
dude.
so, like with his health. So
yeah, very much so.
You know, thank God he's okay and everything seems to be on the up and up now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a scary scare.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing is like, luckily they caught it soon enough.
Yeah.
But like, you never know, man.
Yeah.
You know, with all this stuff in the world, like everything from the chemicals that are, you know, used when we're growing our food, to, that are in our food to preserve them, to the microplastics. I mean, Lord knows what our bodies are having to deal with and have grown inside of us that are just like benign now, but could be something serious in the future. You know?
Yeah, dude. Even the like the tiny bit of radiation from your phone, keeping your phone in your pocket, holding your phone up to your ear, can cause so much too, which is crazy.
It is.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that was very scary.
Yeah, and it's honestly, speaking about that side of like the glyphosate and the food products.
Yeah, I do.
That guy.
That was good. That was good.
I tried.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a hard impression to do.
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, Robert F. Kennedy, RFK,
Dude,
baby.
that was good. That was good.
But that's been a huge change since the last time we did a podcast.
Yeah, no, it really, dude, a lot.
Trump's back in office.
Trump is back in office. That's crazy.
I know, and regardless of how you feel about it, I mean, that is what it is. Like,
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's back in office, so.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand. I do and I don't understand the two camps of just being being outraged about the results of the election.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Either way,
wanting him to fail. I'm just like, you realize like you live in the country too.
Dude, exactly.
I didn't agree with the results of the last election. I'm not talking about fraud or anything like that. I'm just saying it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, well, I mean, he's my president for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like, I've heard it before, but it's like the bus drivers change, and because you like the old bus driver, you want this bus driver to crash.
Yeah. No.
And
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
It's like, no, because if he crashes, we're all going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I've heard the same.
I might not. Yeah.
The analogy I've heard is like, whenever you're on a plane ride, you're not hoping that the pilot crashes the plane.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are on that plane. You might as well support the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
goes to either party. You know what I mean? That goes to however you felt about the past 4 years and then the 4 years before that.
Yes.
You got to support. You know what I mean?
You have to.
Yeah, because there's no other option.
Because to me, when you complain about stuff like that, I have no problem with like protests and stuff like that, peaceful protesting. I mean, that's a right that we have.
It is.
It should be protected.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that when you start to say like stuff like, I hope they fail, or that's not my president, and you know, I don't want to be a part of this country anymore, stuff like that. It's just like, that's just wrong, dude. Because it's like, now you're saying that you don't agree with elections and democratic process. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And that's not right. Yeah. That's what our country needs, is the will of the people to be spoken and heard, and that is what happens.
100%. Yeah.
That's why we have elections. That's why Biden won.
Yeah. And
that's why Trump won again.
Yeah.
It's just like the country was like, that was kind of rough. Yeah. You know, the economy was great, but people were pissed off. Yeah. And they're like, let's go to this side. And they're like, well, the economy sucks. Yeah. People seem to still be pissed off. That didn't work. I think we need to go back this way. Yeah. You know, that's people deciding. Exactly. That's important.
100%. Just expressing your right to vote. No, I mean, you're exactly right. And I mean, things like you're saying, the things that people will say, like whenever the assassination attempt, and people are like, oh, the shooter missed. And like, you have freaking Nancy Pelosi saying that, and it's like, dude, what? Exactly. Are you kidding me?
Like, is politics that big of an idol for you that you would wish harm or death on somebody?
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy.
It is insane.
That's extremist.
Yeah, it is.
That's very extremist.
Yeah, dude, that's not okay.
Yeah. And I'm not a MAGA guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not a hoorah Trumper.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, no, I feel you.
There are definitely things I don't like about the guy. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's like, he's still a person.
He is still a person.
You know, there's a lot I didn't like about Biden. He's still a person.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't wish any harm to come to the man.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
I can have my opinions on how he performed as the president, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I appreciate it for taking on the role. Mm-hmm. You might not have done a great job, but at the end of the day, like, I hope you live a great life. You know, I don't wish any ill will towards you.
Yeah, exactly.
My bank account might.
No, and my bank account did.
Yeah.
Although, dude, there at the end, dude, I mean, it's because things were so inflated, but like my cryptocurrency wallet was like stupid at one point. I was like, holy cow. I was like,
Yeah,
this sucker's going to keep climbing.
I know. I did feel like there towards the right, like maybe like 2 months before the election.
Yeah.
I felt like grocery store prices dropped, gas prices dropped, all that type of stuff. And I was a little skeptical about that too. I was just like, you know, that's convenient timing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Why couldn't we have done this the whole time?
Exactly.
You
I
know?
know, exactly. That's how it is, dude. The party's trying to win. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This time it was a woman trying to win, though.
Yeah.
Nothing against the woman, but that was who the other candidate was.
I know, but dude, and I'm probably giving my opinion here, and it might, make people mad, but in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I'm going to state that.
Yeah.
It's not a fact, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, I was like, the 2 women candidates that they put up is like, you have so many better people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
At that time, Tulsi Gabbard was...
Dude, Tulsi Gabbard, I would have voted for her.
I would have too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her and I would this past year. Had he made it through the primaries, I would have voted Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot.
Vivek.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot.
I really liked his interview on the Nuck podcast. I liked what he stood for, but you know what I mean. We're not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did like him a lot.
I just felt like there's just so many better candidates.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, I guess. But
yeah.
I don't know. There was just... I don't mind for a woman to be president, just not them.
Yeah. No, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
like,
It's like
golly.
it's not the fact that you're a woman. It's the two-sidedness, the willingness not to go on all these podcasts whenever they just want to have an open conversation with you. Like Kamala was invited,
Like the Joe Rogan podcast.
She was invited on Joe Rogan and invited on Theo Vaughn, and it's like they kind of had to. They like wanted to follow a prompt. You know what I mean? It's like just let me talk.
They wanted a script. They wanted to know the questions beforehand.
They wanted to know the questions beforehand. Yeah. And they're like,
it's
no,
like,
he's literally
not
just
a
trying to get.
conversation.
It's not a conversation.
It's
an interview.
propaganda.
Yeah, it is propaganda.
That's what it is.
Yeah, no, that's something you prepare for. Now you just gotta get out there and talk.
Yeah, I do think majority of America was just craving authenticity.
Yeah.
Trump might be an asshole, but he is who he is.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's no bullshitting around it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
For better or for worse, he is who he is. And to be honest with you, I would rather have somebody who is authentically themselves versus somebody that you can't trust a word that comes out their mouth.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure. As our president, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
As our president, yeah.
Of course. Dude, I gotta pee.
All right, we take a break.
You know what I'm doing?
Yeah,
Break?
yeah,
Dude,
we take a break.
I gotta pee so bad. Sorry, guys. I had to go to the bathroom. But speaking of what I just said, I went to church with you yesterday.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
did.
you and Hannah came to church with me and Aaron
And
Blakely.
And I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
You know, after all the stuff that went down a few years ago or a couple years ago, I leaned on my family and friends heavily during that time, but I really had like the realization of just, don't get me wrong, I love my friends and I love my family.
Of course.
And they can take a huge part of that burden off.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, to me, God is there for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He takes the anxieties, the worries, the burdens off of you.
Yeah.
And allows you to get through that. Lean on him in those troubling times.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to.
And then give him thanks whenever things are great.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then you are one of those people that having those conversations with you, and that was like what you're really good about never telling somebody what to do. But
I try to.
You know what I mean? But you're very good at like explaining what worked for you, and hopefully they can gain something from that and or try it themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what, me getting back into church with Aaron and that church in general, just like the community that I found there, like you saw it firsthand.
Dude,
Sunday.
I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I like I said, I look forward to coming back.
Yeah. People would just come, they noticed that you're new.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And they made a point to come up to you and say, hey, what's your name? Nice to meet you. I'm blah, blah, blah. I was like, welcome.
Dude.
You know?
I could count on my hands and toes how many people did that. You know what I mean?
There's a ton of people. And I love that about that church.
Yeah,
dude.
that's awesome.
It really makes you feel at home.
It does.
But like what I was saying is you were like one of those people that you're like, I read my Bible and, lean on faith. And when I don't really know what's going on, I'm like, I really need to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back into it. And when I was going into church, I was like, I felt like that was like part of your faith that you might have been missing.
Yeah.
The community side
Yeah,
of
and
things.
it definitely was, for sure.
Yeah. And like there was the sermon before last Sunday.
Yeah.
They were talking about community.
Yeah.
In the church. And they're like, you can do a lot in your faith with just because it is. Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
It's a personal relationship between you and God through Jesus Christ.
It is.
But they were saying like, and there's so many things that you need a community. You need to be of God's people. Mm-hmm. You need to be actively working in that.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other side of Christianity that you need, that the Bible says you need.
Yeah.
So like when I know we had talked about it before, but I was like, dude, after that sermon, I was like, dude, you got to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I was talking to Dustin about it, and me and Dustin came in here and talked to you about it.
Yeah, he's a customer in my store.
Yeah.
And he's the pastor.
Idea.
I had no clue. No, I had no idea. And I mean, like you said though, like the pastor this last time, because the pastor that is there is out of town right now on a mission trip. The pastor this last time brought up that about the relationships that you need. You need these people to talk to and to talk. And he's like, it shouldn't be such taboo. He's like, have spiritual conversation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't think we've ever lacked that. Like that's nothing that has stopped within us.
Dude,
you know
I would say that every single conversation somehow or another that gets brought up.
Yeah, dude, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe in, like I'm always down to do that. Granted, I know where I fall on at the end of the conversation every time. You know what I mean, and I always will. But it shouldn't be such religion and politics. Yeah, sure, politics, whatever, but religion should not be something. You know what I mean? So
it's like taboo.
It is. That's what it is. Yeah. It's like, okay.
I think the issue is the reason why I think religion kind of gets more taboo than politics is because when it comes to politics, there is a certain point in the argument that you realize that somebody is married to their ideals.
Yes.
And with religion, it's like that's kind of the point, is being married to the ideals.
Yeah.
It's a full commitment.
It is.
So it's very, very hard to have those conversations. Versus like politics is like, I could have a conversation with somebody that's on the other end of the spectrum for me and be totally fine.
Yeah.
But once I notice that they're married to those ideals and they kind of hold an idol to politics, it's like conversation's kind of over.
Yeah.
Because this isn't, my identity is not my political stance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is just something that I think affects me.
Yeah.
And I think expressing my way I have my own ideals and views, and like I express myself this way in this area of life. It's not necessarily that this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's tough.
It's a very tricky place to balance. It's like, dude, and I experienced that on this is sidebar, but like the LeBron and Michael Jordan GOAT debate.
Yeah.
I've had people message my Sneaks and Geeks Instagram, and it's like, because I've reposted stuff on my story, and it's like a kid explaining to me, LeBron had this, and he's like, he still won this many championships, and it's like, okay, yeah, and like that, it's like, I don't know, am I married to that ideal? Because like that's what I believe, but it's like I also have so many points, and so do they. But I like literally like messaged the kid back, and he's like giving me like bullet points of like why he thinks LeBron's a GOAT. And I literally responded to him. I'm like, look, dude, I was like, we can go back and forth all day. I was like, but I promise that you're not going to change my mind. And I'm not saying you don't have the right to think that. I was like, but you're not changing my mind. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. That's where I'm like trying to piece that with the other aspects of my life. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I get where you're coming with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also it's like your love for Jordan there's a whole nother side of it too.
It is.
It's not just the basketball side of things.
Not at all. That's a huge part of it.
It's the sneaker side of things.
It is.
It's like he created your favorite sneaker of all time.
Yeah. Arguably the best sneaker of all. It is. It quite literally is the most popular sneaker of all time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But dude, I don't know. But yeah,
Yes,
there's a lot that goes into it. But tell me right now, nobody is waiting outside of Champs at 5:30 in the morning for a pair of freaking LeBrons to drop. I can assure you of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LeBrons aren't going to turn around and sell for $800 after they're sold out. Okay, that has never ever been the case.
Never.
A pair of Chicago Jordan 1s have sold out 10 times for the amount of times they've been re-released and sell for over double, if not triple, every time what they release for retail.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You tell me what's more iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I honestly, I think, in my opinion, the GOAT conversation, two totally different eras of basketball.
It is. It's comparing apples to oranges a little bit.
A little bit.
it
And
is.
even if you were to take the same argument to like LeBron to Kobe, or Kobe to Shaq,
Yeah.
or Shaq to Magic,
Yeah.
or Magic to Jordan.
To et cetera, yeah.
You know?
No, exactly.
I mean, it's just different eras of basketball.
Yeah. And you're completely right.
I mean, heck, you can make the comparison of LeBron to Steph.
Oh, for sure. Steph has just as many rings.
Exactly.
And has been to less championships and has a way better winning percentage.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Steph quite literally changed the way basketball is played nowadays.
Exactly.
100%.
I mean, like when we were kids, what did we say when we shot the ball?
Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
What do they say when they shoot it now?
Curry.
Curry.
Yeah. Steph. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Chef Curry.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's true.
And like I think LeBron is the GOAT of stats.
He is, and it's like he really, like, people want to submit him as the GOAT for after he beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, because he is the king of stats, and some of them, like, I personally feel like he's stat padding, you know what I mean? However anyone else feels on that, but it's like, if LeBron is now the GOAT because he passed Kareem's scoring record, was Kareem the GOAT before? No. We never was like, Kareem is the best player to ever play the game of basketball. No. You have to define greatness. What is your version of greatness? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like to me, if there is three greats, well, to me there are three greats. And LeBron is in my three greats. But he's number 3. To me, it's Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. You know what I mean? That's mine personally. You know what I mean? And people can have different opinions, as they should and do. But coming back to it, yes, it is completely different generations of basketball. I just look at everything in a whole and what embodies greatness and what the cultural shift that Jordan caused with everything, with fashion, streetwear, sneakers,
In
the
the
actual
NBA.
game of basketball
Yeah.
in the NBA. You hear so many people, I want to be like Mike. Not many people say I want to be like LeBron. Like, you'll have some younger players in the league right now, but like, I don't know. I could go on forever. I really could.
I know. But I think at the end of the day, there's one thing that matters in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Winning.
Dude, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Because when you win, nobody can say a thing.
Yeah.
You take any sort of air and completely deflate haters
Yeah.
when you win.
Yeah, no, exactly. Especially
Yeah.
when you're undefeated in winning. When you get there and
Like,
win every time.
Exactly. Like, to me,
When it matters.
in my opinion, whenever that conversation was like, who is better, Steph Curry or Bron? Steph Curry or Bron? Because
Yeah.
like they're kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, Cleveland
Yeah.
and Golden State.
Yeah.
I think that conversation was shut down in 2016.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I mean?
And then
Steph Curry had LeBron's team down 3-1.
Yeah, dude, that was yes.
And no one has ever come back after being down 3-1. All the Warriors had to do was win one game,
Yeah.
and they had another championship. And
Yeah.
if they would have done that, you don't really have grounds to stand
Yeah.
on to say LeBron's better than Steph.
Exactly.
But now you do.
Yeah.
You can shut them haters up because they came back from 3-1.
Exactly.
And they won the championship and made history
Yeah.
doing so.
Exactly.
And in my mind, that is where the GOAT comes from. And LeBron is like,
Yes.
he knew
Yeah.
that. And he was just like, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
We're going to win.
Exactly.
And they balled out.
They did. And Kyrie showed up there too, but I completely agree, and that's one of that is such an iconic series. Like, honestly,
That was one of the last 5 minutes of that game.
oh, dude,
Of Game 7.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. blocked by James. Dude, like that block on Iguodala.
What is that? What he says? What is he? Curry to Green, Green to Iguodala, Iguodala the layup, blocked by James.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Now, I mean,
and then the one-on-one, and that's another thing too, is the one-on-one ISO with Curry on Steph.
Yeah.
Or not Curry on Steph.
Kyrie
on Steph.
Yeah, and Kyrie drains
and
it.
LeBron just being like, LeBron knowing the game of basketball so well, being like, it ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass the rock to who I know is going to make this shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is even cooler. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, it's just like the 2012, 2013 finals with the Ray Allen shot.
Oh,
it gets dished out to Ray Allen. I mean, that
LeBron for
fourth
three.
ring is on the line right there.
Yeah, LeBron. Wait, was that when they were playing the Spurs? Yeah, they were playing the Spurs, right? Because they were in Miami. That was to force a Game 7.
Was it the Spurs?
I think so.
Someone was on. It wasn't the Mavericks because they lost to the Mavericks.
That was around the time they had like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili. What was the other guy? Tony
Parker.
Tony Parker.
Kawhi was on that team.
Kawhi was on that team, yeah.
Was it the Spurs?
I think it was the Spurs. Because I think that was Game 6 to force a Game 7.
Yeah.
And that was when LeBron took the three, missed. Bosch got the rebound, pass out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang.
Yeah. Bang.
That was a crazy game, too. I remember watching that game. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, no, that was insane. Same thing
in Miami at the whiteout. Oh, man.
That's crazy.
I
mean, same thing when Kawhi Leonard hit that shot against the Sixers. That shot's crazy.
That shot changes the entire trajectory of that series.
Oh yeah, dude! It changes who won the freaking finals. You know what I mean? Like that was Game 7.
What's that Game 7?
That was Game 7.
Oh, I thought that was early in the series.
That was Game 7 to get to the finals.
To get to the finals. That's right, because that was when he was on the Raptors. And who did they play in the finals?
The Warriors.
Was it the Warriors?
But KD was hurt. KD was on that team, but KD was hurt. But they beat the Warriors in the finals because we were like, finally, the Warriors get beat.
Yes.
After how many years they had been, and but KD was hurt that series.
Yes, I do remember that now.
So Kawhi pulled it off with some. I wouldn't call it rinky-dink. I mean, because they had Kyle Lowry, they had Pascal Siakam, but I mean, with the team he beat, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, wow, maybe they are beatable. Maybe Kawhi is the kryptonite to this.
Yeah, Kawhi that was unreal basketball that year for him. Mm-hmm. That was an insane year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just a freaking robot.
Mm-hmm. What?
That was the year when he had the.
Yeah.
Oh man.
New Balance came without that thing. The what they call it, like the man who smiles or something, but it's like, look who's laughing now or something like that. They because he's a New Balance athlete.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Or like the man with the laugh, or something weird like that.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway.
But no, that was crazy. And another, oh man, I had another one in my head. Another crazy. Oh, Game 1 of the Cavaliers. It was the next year, 2017. Game 1, finals. Cavaliers, Warriors again. J.R. Smith mess up.
Dude,
that
devastated me.
If they win that game,
that
was Game 1. In California. In the Bay.
Golden State,
in the Bay.
Yeah.
And if that goes in, that was like, because like everybody was like, dude, the Warriors are unreal. I mean, what did they end up beating them in that? Like 4-1, 4-2?
Yeah, it's a gentleman's sweep. No. Yeah. Well, maybe that series. One of them, they 4-0'd them.
That might have been the year they 4-0'd them.
Yeah, I think one year was a gentleman's sweep, and one year they 4-0'd them, and I think it was that year.
Yeah,
because J.R. Smith.
Because they didn't have the team. LeBron's team really wasn't that great.
Not at all.
No,
they didn't have Kyrie.
No, Kyrie left.
Yeah,
and that year, dude, because I was like, man, we're gonna see another Warriors championship. Yeah. And I was watching that game, I was like, oh my God, we're about to do it.
This is close.
Yeah, this is a close game. Like they make this shot, it's game over. We just won Game 1 in California, in the Bay.
Yeah.
And then Cher's like,
I know. And the game was tied with like 13 seconds left, and he holds the ball.
Yep.
And LeBron's literally like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know, just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that devastated me.
To be him.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
I wonder if he got death threats.
Dude, he probably got something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't play much longer after. I mean, he went he went to L.A. whenever they won a championship in the bubble.
Yep.
He was with L.A. He was on the bench. He played like some in the fourth quarter if they were winning, but his career was pretty much
drive.
Yeah, I know. He's pretty much over after that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you think the Lakers will do it this year?
There's so many teams that could do it this year, dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was watching. I haven't heard much about the Lakers.
Yeah, well, they're fourth in the West right now. That's pretty.
Well, like right after the trade,
Yeah.
that's all you could see was just LeBron Doncic highlights back and forth.
Yeah.
And
A little bit of Bronny here and there.
Yeah, a little Bronny, but like I hadn't seen anything recently.
Yeah.
Like they weren't. I do get where people kind of get fed up with LeBron because ESPN does kind of ride him.
Yeah.
You know, anything he does is like, oh, LeBron, he got a double-double tonight. It's like, he's supposed to.
Yeah. I know,
It's like, this is nothing new.
Yeah. No, exactly, dude. Dude, but the freaking Thunder are the truth, dude.
Really?
They're the number one team in the league right now. Looking, they're the number one team in the West, but they are the number one team in the league in
record-wise?
In record, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, the Thunder, I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is definitely, it will be surprising if he doesn't win MVP this year. Like, I mean, whenever the podcast airs that happens, I'm calling it right now. SGA is winning the MVP this year. He should have won it last year, but yet they gave it to Jokic again. Mm-hmm. Dude, there's no way he doesn't win MVP. But they have such a solid team, and I don't know. They are a young team, but it would not surprise me if this is like the turn of it. But then there's greatness. LeBron is a great basketball player and knows the game so well, and you got Luka on the team.
Both have been there.
Both have been there.
Yeah.
One has won four times.
You never know with like a young team if the lights are going to get too bright.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we will see whenever the playoffs come around. But then the freaking Celtics are still killing it in the East. I mean, Cleveland's I think number one in the East right now. Celtics are number two. Not by much, but the Celtics are a great ball club. You know.
Celtics are corny though.
They are. I mean, I don't know.
Cringe maybe is a better word to describe it.
I do like Jason Tatum though, but he is cringe.
Yes, he is.
He's like all like whenever he won last year, all the quotes he mocked from all the people who had won previously.
Yeah, I remember seeing something on it was either Instagram.
Yeah,
I think it was Instagram because I just got X here recently, and I don't think I had X when this happened, but. He was basically, people were just like, oh, he's fishing for that moment, ain't he? Like, he's trying to create the moment, and it's just like, oh, you're trying too hard, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason all those things were so great is because it was just off the rip.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, he copied the Kevin Garnett, anything is possible.
Yeah.
He copied the Kobe leaning against the trophy.
Yeah.
There's another one he did too.
It's like, bro, if you would have
Steph Curry, he's copied a Steph Curry quote after they won as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, if you would have just
done
been in the moment,
yeah,
you would have had your moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You missed your moment because you weren't in the moment.
Yeah, he didn't even win MVP.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown did. You know what I mean?
I like Jaylen Brown.
I like Jaylen Brown too. I like Jaylen
Brown a lot.
I do as well. So
is it Al Horford?
Yeah.
Is he still on that team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him too. He's a good glue guy.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does. You're right. He is a good glue guy. That's a good way of putting it.
He's like I feel like he's like no, not really. I was going to compare him to Dennis Rodman, but like Dennis was kind of the opposite of glue. Yeah. Maybe like see, I don't know the Bulls team that well. It's definitely not Scottie Pippen because I feel like that's more like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, no, I mean Jaylen Brown is. I mean, if you compare, it's
not comparing them at all. Yeah. I'm just saying the roles in which they play in the team.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's just
like superstar, your backup guy.
Yeah.
Like the one that doesn't want all the limelight and everything, but is just a baller.
Yeah.
Like your Kyrie.
Yeah.
Like LeBron is obviously the superstar of that team, but Kyrie is the one that like hits the shot in Game 7 to win.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, kind of like a Ray Allen for that Heat team. That was at the end of his career. Like he retired
very shortly
season,
after that.
The next season, 2 years after. Kind of like that. You know what I mean? Very clutch in those moments. You know what I mean? Is there when he needs to be.
Been there
Great
before.
role player.
Yeah.
Veteran mentality. played against Jordan, played against Kobe. You know what I mean? He kinda
That's crazy that he played against Jordan.
Yeah, Ray Allen. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Where did he come from? The Spurs?
Ooh, Ray Allen.
Yeah, where did he come from?
Oh gosh.
No, Boston.
Ray Allen was with Boston.
He was
Ray
with
Allen
Boston.
also,
He was there with Kevin Garnett and.
Oh yeah, and Rondo.
Rondo. What's
Shaq there for a minute.
What was the other guy? I can see his face. The one that went out on the court on a
Paul
wheelchair.
Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, because he pooped on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
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 But Ray Allen's rookie team, he got drafted to the Bucks. Ray Allen was with the Bucks because on 2K, he's a little secret weapon whenever you go to all-time Bucks and he's not starting, but you can put him in. You know what I mean? It's just like Allen Iverson on the Sixers. He's on the all-time Sixers, but he's not. No. Allen Iverson's a starter on the all-time Sixers. Allen Iverson is on the bench on the all-time Nuggets. And you can pull him off because a lot of people aren't that. Because you see like Melo.
Yeah.
Then you see all these other people. You don't think Allen Iverson's on that team. Although I do think they should.
An Allen Iverson Nuggets jersey, the baby blue and yellow,
Yeah.
that would be fire.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That'd be sick.
There's some. Dude, did I show you the jersey that I got?
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. I have a crazy signed jersey.
Really?
It's signed.
I'll pull it up.
Player signed.
Do you have it here?
Do you know who my favorite player in the league is right now?
In the league right now?
Yeah.
I
don't know if we've talked about this. Maybe back whenever the NBA season was going on last year.
I feel like it's homie from the Thunder.
I really like SGA.
Because that's who you talk about a lot.
I do. I really
it's
like
not him though.
I have his rookie card graded at 10 as well in sports cards.
It's
not him.
It's not Wemby. Wemby. Whatever.
No, it's not Wemby. No. He's youngish. He's like Luka comparison, like Luka and age. Well, no, Luka's definitely younger than him, but kind of that status, like current best players in the league.
Not Giannis. It's Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you like Giannis a lot,
bro.
You got his jersey signed. Holy.
Signed.
You got it here?
Yeah.
Dude, pull it out.
Yeah, we go grab it.
Go grab that real quick.
Yeah, let me go grab this Giannis jersey.
Because that's sick. Sullivan County Jail. Do you accept the charges? Oh, dude, and it's the throwback.
It's the good jersey.
Oh, it's the good jersey. Wasn't that on your list when we did all-time jerseys?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This is one of my favorite jerseys of all time.
Oh man, that thing is clean.
So it's the Bucks early 2000s, late 90s jersey with the Nike with the Harley Davidson on it. Tag still on it. Antetokounmpo signed.
Dude, that's crazy.
I know, dude. I had to drop a bag on this too.
Oh, I bet.
Then it's authenticated by Beckett, so it was signed by Giannis. See, I love the front of the jersey so much, but I want to get this shown in a frame.
Oh, I know.
So I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, do I get a double-sided frame or how do I do this?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
It's almost like, I want to kind of see if I can get a double-sided frame and like hang it from the ceiling somehow. Because it's just too sick to not.
I know.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. Being next to a sports card shop.
You could always frame that and get another jersey. Because, I mean, I'm sure those jerseys not signed like that are pretty cheap.
Yeah. Well, it's still like $100.
Well, that's compared, I'm sure, compared to that.
Yeah, way more than
that. Yeah. I was about to say.
Yeah.
But, like, you could always just, like, go on NBA store or something and buy that jersey for 100, 120.
Yeah, side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah, get the same size. Yeah, no, that's true too. Or get them put in the same frame, just have a giant frame. It'd be a big frame though.
Well, yeah, you could do that. That would be sick.
It would be cool. And I have 2 of Giannis's rookie cards. Just put like a rookie card in each end or something. I don't know. Yeah, Giannis. Giannis is my guy. I really like Giannis.
Yeah,
He's my current favorite player. I mean, there's a lot of people. Like, I really like Anthony Edwards. And I like him a lot. I really like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, there's not many people that I dislike. You know what I mean? I respect game.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's not many people I dislike. There for a while, Draymond Green was kind of getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a flagrantness of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you weren't even playing hard. You're just hitting people.
Yeah.
And then whining about it. And it's like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
But honestly, watching LeBron sometimes gets on my nerves.
Me too.
Especially the past, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been like,
Yeah.
Since the bubble, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed watching him and AD get a ring in the bubble.
Yeah.
But also, it was like, after that, it was just like, good Lord, brother.
Yeah. Let flop.
Yeah. Let flop. Quit crying about it,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
He played in the era of where, like, you got beat on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, like, back in the Jordan era when, the Detroit Bad Boys.
Yeah.
The Pistons were literally beating people.
No, like, actually.
But, like, he did play in a rougher area.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's still, like, I mean, rookie year, 03, like, he played against that, like, 2005, 2006 Pistons team with, like, Ben Wallace and all of those people on it. Steven Jackson. Like, that was them against the Pacers. That was the whole Netflix documentary, the Malice at the Palace.
Yep.
Those were two tough teams. You know what I mean? And LeBron did play against all of them.
Dude, honestly, I would watch basketball if it was more like that.
Me too. Me too.
Know,
I mean, I
watch
love
more
basketball, but
I don't follow the NBA that much anymore.
really,
No.
Yeah.
I really haven't for a long time.
I mean, I totally get why.
Yeah.
I really do.
And like, I'm in the camp of like, I love college sports more than anything else. Like, and CFB over NFL.
Yeah.
NCAA men's over NBA. Like,
Yeah.
I like it more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that NBA is definitely always my favorite sport to watch, aside from the UFC. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like,
the UFC is fun to watch.
that is quite literally is comparing apples to oranges. It's just a completely different sport. But if I had a favorite sport, it's MMA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, my favorite sport is definitely football. But honestly, a close second. It's not even a close second. Yeah, I guess it is a close second because I really do like UFC. It would be hockey.
Hockey, yeah, I figured.
Hockey's so fun,
I
dude.
figured, yeah.
We went to Knoxville Ice Bears game.
Yeah.
A while back, like maybe a month ago. So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I'd never been to a live hockey game before.
Yeah.
But I love watching hockey on TV.
Yeah.
Kind of got into it the past like 3 years.
Oh, I've noticed.
Yeah. And after going to that Ice Bears game, literally in the car ride home, I'm looking on my phone on SeatGeek, and I'm like, we can go watch the Preds play the Knights in Nashville.
Yeah.
In like a month.
Yeah.
And I think tickets were like $60 each.
Yeah.
Like good tickets too. And I looked at Aaron, and Aaron was like, I'll go.
Yeah.
And I was like, bet. So I got it. And dude, you know when? Well, I got them.
Okay.
But do you know when the event is?
No.
This Saturday. You know what I got going on this Saturday?
A wedding.
A wedding.
Yeah.
Literally a week after we bought those tickets, because her sister was supposed to get married Thursday, I believe. Yeah, I think it went from the 27th to the 29th. Mm-hmm. It was Thursday she was supposed to get married, and then the lady messaged her about the venue and basically just said like she couldn't have as many people on that day or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so she had to change it, and she sent it in the group chat. It was like, hey, we're changing the date to the 29th, and Aaron sent it to me. She was like, well, shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Oh, man, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. But it's all good because Aaron's friend is, her and her husband are going to go. So they're just going to pay me for the tickets. Yeah. They're paying me full price too, which is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. But it was just like, dude, I'm so ready to go see the Preds play. And then it was like, well, no, not yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
The Ice Bears games are fun, man. Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheap, and it's fun. It was a good time.
Yeah. Me and Eli, the first time we went to Colorado, we went and saw a minor league.
Oh, minor league.
Minor league hockey team.
That's cool.
It was cool. It was cool. It was like literally like the Breckenridge something versus the Vale something.
That's cool.
And literally who we saw. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool. We like went in there. We were too young to drink at that time, so we just sat there and watched the hockey game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say that is a fun part about going to a hockey game.
Getting a beer.
Getting a beer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
That's why on the drive home I was scrolling on my phones because I wasn't driving.
Yeah.
Aaron was a champ about that.
There you go.
She was like, I don't really feel like drinking, so she's like, so just go ahead.
Yeah.
And she had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
But like early on in the game, and then quit drinking.
Yeah.
By the third period.
Yeah.
Even before that.
Mhm. Yeah, dude. That night, I remember talking to you because I was playing video games, and I remember texting you, and we played video games the next day. And it's like, I remember you went to that game. And I remember texting you the next day, and I was like, did you go to church today? And you didn't you go to church the next day? Yeah, like you like came back. Yeah, You came back and went to church next day. I was like, dude, I commend you for that.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you still woke up and went to church after, like, driving back from Knoxville.
Yeah, it was a late night, but I mean, church doesn't start till 10:40.
That's a very nice time. I like that a lot.
Like we got home at like 11:30, 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
like midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still almost 11 hours.
Yeah.
You know, so like even if you go to bed at 2 and wake up at 10,
Yeah.
and like are rushing out the door, that's still 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. No, that's really not bad at all.
There have been nights, and I'm not proud of it, but there have been nights where like you tie one off downtown or something.
Yeah.
And you don't get home till like 2:30, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like you wake up and you're like, just not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't make it.
Yeah.
That's only happened once though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Aaron tied one off downtown Kingsport, and then the next day we're just kind of like, not today.
Yeah. No, I feel that, dude.
And to be honest with you, dude, I'm getting to the point now to where like I really don't like, I don't like drinking like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand.
And I really don't like. I really like going out, spending a whole bunch of money, just to. I mean, it's fun to hang out with your friends and stuff like that, but like, spending all that money and then you got to watch yourself because you got to drive home, you know, and you don't want to catch a DUI.
No.
And then you're getting home super late. Your sleep's messed up. You know, everybody doesn't want to go out until like 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's a little late.
That's a little late.
That's a little late.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would much rather just like chill at the house, listen to music, play some games, you know, do something like do a puzzle, something like that.
Yeah.
And like drink at my house.
Yeah.
And then I get to go to bed whenever I want to.
Yeah.
I can make whatever food I want to.
Yeah.
And it's so much better. And I've already bought that.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not spending extra money.
Yeah.
Because like every time I go out, dude, on the St. Patrick's Day, on the bar crawl, that Saturday, I probably spent $150.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Every time I turned around, the tab was like $50.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which, I mean, I was happy to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because like, I don't know, we went to High Voltage, and at High Voltage, we all got those like craft PB&J beers.
Those are really good.
They're really good, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
You know, I can get a bucket for, I think it was like $16, $17, and one of those beers cost me $10.
Yeah.
You know, so I had one of those. Aaron had one of those. I think Aaron got another one. So that's $30 in itself.
Yeah.
And then I bought a bucket on top of that. So boom, there's $50.
Yeah.
And then we leave there. We go to Tap House, and I bought both of us a beer. And it was crowded in Tap House, so we left. And then we went to the Reserve. And then the Reserve was a $50 tab at least. And I want to say that there was some... We might have gone to BT's after that. Maybe. I don't remember where we went. But like it was just like every time I turned around, it was like $50, $50, $50. I was like, golly,
That's
dude.
too much, dude.
Too much.
There's a lot of stuff I'd rather spend $150 on.
Especially when I don't drink anything crazy. I just drink Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
I just drink beer.
Yeah.
And it's like $6 a pop.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Whenever you can get like half a 12-pack. However.
You can get a 12-pack for less than $20.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
no, $25, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can get a 12-pack for like $18.99.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're paying less than $2 a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And they stay cold because I got koozies.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah, no kidding.
I will say, dude, one of my favorite things of all time, it's like a goated feeling, is Friday or Saturday night, you and Clay are online, and I'm playing Helldivers with you guys.
Yeah.
And I crack the beer. I crack that first beer, and it's like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I know,
that'll
dude.
get you fired up.
It will. It really will, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
Video
my gosh.
games with the boys and cracking a beer, it's like, yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that so much.
You worked hard all dang week, and it's time to do it.
I know.
And it's time to crack one.
Yeah, it is, dude. I know. It's like, and I'm at that point where like I really can't play on weeknights anymore. I mean, I close the shop at 7, so something about, like you said, because we all kind of have different schedules. We're in a group text. It's like, hey, I'm gonna hop on for like 30 minutes, maybe do the daily, and then get off. And it's like, I can't either tonight. And then we're all, one of us is always sending that text. Yes. You know what I mean? Sometimes 2 of us will play, sometimes not. But dude, one day of the week when the stars align,
all 3 of us link up.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
dude! Oh, it is a feeling.
And
dude.
it's not even every week.
No, it's not.
You know, it could go like 2 or 3 weeks
yeah.
until we get a good, like, 3-guy session going on.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
But no, for real. Like, whenever we get those moments where it's like, okay, we're playing until 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I love that.
Like a kid.
I love that. And even like I sent you a text the last time we did that, and I was like, dude, we definitely stayed up too late.
Dude, that was just me and you.
But it was just that was just me and you.
We found that random third
We
guy,
did.
and he was cool.
Yeah,
Super cool. He played with us. I don't know, what did he do? Like 3 different missions with us?
Something like that.
Not missions, but like operations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I sent you that text, and I was like, dude, we definitely stayed up too late, but dang it, I love this game.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I don't regret it.
I don't regret it either.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you do regret it a little bit in the morning when you wake up, but like as soon as the fog goes away, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I don't even think. No, I was drinking that night. I was definitely drinking that night.
Yeah.
There was one recently that I wasn't drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just playing with you guys for a while. But yeah, dude, I love that game.
I do too.
If anybody hasn't tried that game, you need to, because that game is so much fun.
Yeah, Helldivers 2.
Yep, Helldivers 2.
PS5 and PC. Man, it is so fun. Oh, it's so fun. Xbox people are definitely missing out.
I was about to say PlayStation 5 and PC only, the way God intended.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
Dude, the best part about it is whenever I'm like, I don't even have to ask her.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to ask her.
Yeah,
like, what did you have in mind for us tonight?
Yeah,
because I don't want to be like, I'm playing video games. Figure it out. You know, I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like, I'm like, do you mind if I play
Yeah.
Helldivers tonight? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, there was that one night that you two were playing, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to miss out, but I'm staying with her tonight.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I bring my PlayStation over? She's like, and I was like, and when I sent the message, I was like, I feel icky for saying that.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, yeah, I don't care. It gives me an excuse to play Fortnite. And I was like, God, I'm going to marry this woman.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. That's so nice. Oh, dude, I remember that. I mean, even last night, like, I know you had something going on, but I was like, we're in a mission right now. I was like, but if you want to join us before we extract, I was like, you can get all these samples and the medals. Yeah. And you were like, okay, wait, don't extract. Then I'd see like T4 in loadout, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I joined straight on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, dude, yeah, I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
That is so much fun.
I do too.
And I think the reason it's stayed around this long and it doesn't get old, like Call of Duty got so old.
It's so fast. It gets so old
fast. And
so
you
fast.
always trick yourself into thinking that
this year's different. Yeah.
This year's different.
It is.
I'm going to play it until I get it.
Yeah.
And you never do.
No.
Because
first 3 months.
What happens is, and I will tell you, the reason that I think if this Call of Duty, if they had better maps, like standard maps, not the Nuketown stuff like that, but they had better standard maps, I probably could still be playing it.
Yeah.
But the maps were just so bad, and I got so tired of running Nuketown.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. And then running Stakeout. over and over and over.
Yeah.
It was just, I would load in and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Until I got done with that gun, and I'd switch guns, and I'd do the same thing.
It's so repetitive.
And then that was what got us into it, was because that one day I was playing Call of Duty, and I got so mad that I was just like, why am I playing this game? I was like, it is terrible.
Yeah.
And I logged off, and I was like, just sitting there, and I was like, do I go back to the classics and play like a Ratchet and Clank or a Sly Cooper?
True that.
You know?
Yeah, true that.
Like, do I load up some Minecraft or something? And I was just like, I saw it on the very right side. I only saw half of it because I hadn't played it in so long.
Yeah.
And I was like, And I scrolled over, and I was like, Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
And I clicked it.
Yeah.
And then the music started, and I was like,
Yeah.
I know why I like this game again. I dove in, and when I was diving in, it just like, it filled me with the first time we played that game.
Yeah.
That same feeling.
Yeah.
Diving in by myself. I had 2 other guys join me, and we beat the hell out of that mission.
Yeah.
And immediately I sent you a Snapchat of the next time I dropped in. I was like, you got to come back.
Yeah, dude. Dude, and I did, like, it just so happened that week, it literally just so happened that week I had COVID. I had COVID, and Clay had been texting me. I had the shop open at this point, and there was something he was debating on buying, and it was pretty expensive. He was like, dude, I'm going to get this. He was like, if you play Helldivers 2 with me. And I was like, dude, it's a good item. It'll sell either way. But I was like, you know what? I was like, I will play Helldivers 2 with you. You sent me that Snapchat, and I had COVID, so I was like, I'm going to play Helldivers 2. And when I had COVID, I played Helldivers 2, and I had so much fun. And I, like, sent Clay a Snapchat of me playing it, and then I just get a text from him a couple hours later, and the text just says, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
just because I played it
He's
without
like
him.
he'd been dying to play it with you, like begging you to play it, and then you
Yeah.
just go and like load it up yourself at random.
Because he wanted to be the first one to play Squids with me. Like, you know what I mean?
The Illuminate.
Yeah. Squids is a faction in the game. Then that is their nickname for them, but they are called the Illuminate. They're like an alien mixed with a zombie, kind of. I know it sounds weird, but that's kind of what it is.
Very nerdy.
Very nerdy. Very nerdy.
Especially whenever you're talking about it, it does sound nerdy.
I know, well, especially since we're like this deep into it.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It's like there's a faction called the Illuminate, but the real people call them Squids. You know what I mean? It's like we are in the game.
We know slang.
Yeah, we know slang. You know what I mean?
Yes, we're definitely that into the game.
Mm-hmm. But we played Squids the first time together, and I was like, this is interesting.
It was very interesting. I didn't know how I felt about it at first.
I didn't either.
You know, and I think what it was, that game, it is very easy to, you treat it like Call of Duty almost.
Yeah.
You find something that really like clicks and works well,
Yeah.
and you stay in that rut, and you never get out.
Yeah.
And the more you stay in that rut, I feel like it hinders you because you're not really playing the game right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Using the same loadout, same enemy every time. It's like, what's
Yeah.
fun about this? When
Exactly.
you really think
it's
about
like
it.
you're beating your head against the wall trying to break through every mission.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like that. It's fine, I guess. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can run a similar loadout most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so many different things you can run in that game. So many different ways you can play it
that work.
if you do it. Yeah, it's just it's so much fun. And
Yeah.
not only that is like you get 4 slots to pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
Weapon, airstrikes, anything,
Mm-hmm.
turrets, sentries, whatever.
A mech suit.
A mech suit.
Vehicle.
Yeah, you can call in. You get 4 slots.
Yeah.
And then you're playing with 3 other people that also gets 4 slots.
Yeah.
And if you're all in a group and friends, like you can really play a mission how you
can
want to.
strategize very much so.
Yeah, and it's so much fun.
It is so much fun. And then that's exactly like me, you, and Clay last night or the night before last night, whichever one it was. Last night.
That was last night.
Last night, dude. I had so much fun. I was fine that we were playing Squids. I ran a extra weapon. You ran an extra backpack.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We all coordinated on what we were using, and it worked perfectly. If someone died, it was to something stupid that shouldn't have happened. We mainly killed each other.
Yeah, I led in that category.
Yeah, we killed each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a lot of friendly fire damage, but
I
that's
did.
okay. We still didn't run out of reinforcements.
Yeah.
But it was such a fun time, dude.
Yeah.
We only got to play like a mission and a half, but I was like, if I get to do this once every week, I'm good.
Yeah,
this
dude,
is so fun.
It is so
you know
much
what I mean?
fun. It is so much better than Call of Duty or any of those games.
It is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that game.
That's a great game.
Yeah. So we need to get paid by Helldivers.
Dude, I would shout Helldivers out every single time at the beginning of the podcast if they paid us. That'd be sick.
100%. Yeah. No,
or just like pay me in super credits.
Yeah, dude, for real. I'd take
or
it.
war bond medals.
Yeah.
Actually, pay me in war bond medals.
Yeah, dude, I would take that.
I can grind the super credits.
Yeah.
But the war bond
Yeah.
medals, yeah. I mean, I guess you can grind those too, but still.
Yeah.
If I could just unlock everything.
Yeah, dude, I know. I know.
Congratulations, Helldiver.
Yeah,
You've been awarded this.
Yeah. Just log in and you get that from whatever the development team's called.
Super Earth?
No, the actual developers of the game.
I think it comes from PlayStation Studios, right?
PlayStation Studios is a part of it because it's exclusive, but then there's like the actual the studio, the actual studio.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. It's something soft. I can't remember.
I'm not sure either. But I mean, yeah.
Software. Yeah.
No, but the other aspect of the game that's so interesting is there's a game maker. There's one person from that studio that is constantly like manipulating the map and like controlling the factions and how they perform and what kind of, version they're coming after you with now.
Yeah.
Like there's like the Terminator, the automatons,
Yeah.
or the bots.
Yeah.
They look like Terminator robots and they have like different tiers of like what you're fighting, but like
Yeah.
those things, they have like fire shotguns right now and like flamethrowers and stuff. It's like it's just like there's a guy behind the scenes that is trying to beat the community.
Yeah.
And the community is fighting back with him, and you're playing with like millions of people.
Yeah.
Tens of millions of people.
You are. He's like Oz behind the curtain.
Yes, he is like Oz behind the curtain.
He really is. He's like the what do you call it in Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
He's like the Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really
Just
cool.
making up storylines that you have to play against.
Yeah, and this is a real person.
Yeah,
this is
it's
a real guy.
A real person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has an X page.
He might.
I think he does.
He might. Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Huh. That's cool, dude. Oh gosh. I mean, I think we could go on for I don't know how long talking about Helldivers.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
But it is almost 5:30. You want to wrap this first episode up?
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, honestly, that was a lot easier than I thought, which I knew it was gonna be. But
yeah.
Once you get the plane going, it's easy to take off.
Mm-hmm. I'm landing that sucker now. First episode of season 3.
Yes, sir. We're back.
Go. Yeah.
All right.
Third time's a charm.
Third time is the charm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think we need to quit focusing on that and just have fun.
We do. I agree. That's all. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plus, we have this cool studio now.
Yeah.
So.
Cool setup for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I could provide.
But thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Dude. Let's do it again. Hey, and follow @Sneaks and Geeks Co. on Instagram.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah.